This bonus NASCAR Betting Picks 2025 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. They've got a brand new offer. New customers play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome in to another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He, as always, is Cody Zeeb. I am Rod Villagomez. And in between us, you may recognize the face. He is the Chief Gambling Officer, which, by the way, Tampa, that is a fantastic title. I don't know who gave that to you.
A title.
But I absolutely love it. Well, listen, you did a great job. The Chief Gambling Officer over at Dirty Mo Media. You don't need much more introduction than that. He is Alex Tim, better known as Tampa Tims. Alex, first and foremost, welcome to the show. I'm skipping over Cody because Cody always talks, but welcome to the show, Alex.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I'm pumped to be here. That intro got me fired up. I don't know about you, how you guys don't just bounce off the wall every time that plays, because that's awesome.
We do. That's what gets us fired up when we get in here. Like sometimes we roll in and like we've got day jobs and all sorts of other stuff going on in life and families, and we roll in here and we're like, oh boy. And then you get that intro and it's just like, oh, let's go play some bets on NASCAR. Gets us fired up. Rod killed it with that intro.
Oh yeah, great job. Love it.
Thank you. No, I had great work at the guys over there at Iconoclast. That song, when I first heard it just fired me up right again. I was like, I got to use this song. And then first of all, we just kind of had that generic little Canva intro, and it was cool. But then I was like, you know what? Let's step up the game a little bit. Let's get some clips in there. Let's get some stuff. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. It definitely fires us up every time, and I'm glad it fires you up. So chat's already popping off. Everybody over here is wanting to say hello. So let's say hello real quick to Marcus, predicting that. Guess what, Cody? Christopher Bell's going to win at Richmond.
Christopher Bell, like always. He's good on his predictions. He doesn't really stray much. It's pretty much Christopher Bell every single week.
I mean, that's the way he likes it.
Yeah, I have him to win at over 3.5 races, and it looked good after 5 races.
Oh, yeah. You're just counting that as cash, and now you're starting to sweat that. It's like, oh.
I'm saying, I'm like, we need him to win, man. Holy crap.
It is crazy. Didn't he win 3 of the first 5 races, I think it was? And then
something like
just
that.
like nothing since then. So, yeah. Boy, figure it out.
JDK, afternoon, fellas. Justin checking in, afternoon, fellas, and Tim's. KB looking fast. He's topping the leaderboard. Oof. Is that fool's gold there, Alex? I don't know.
Fast early.
I said on Dirty Mo early in the week that he was my long shot at plus 3,000. And I mean, they look like they're fast every practice when they have a good car, and then they'll qualify 25th. So I don't know. But they were good. They had something last year with that 3 car. So let's see. I don't know. I'm a believer this year, I think.
Yeah. I had a couple of bets on him earlier in the week, including 30-1 as well for the outright. I think, man, you got to hope that they find something from that 3 car, because all everybody remembers is that 3 car wrecked, 2 guys to win at the end of the day. But he was the fastest car throughout the day before that. And I'm hoping they can rekindle that magic and get our boy KB back in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think it'd be a good story if Kyle can win a race. And for some reason, I just feel like as much as this is like a straight up, it looks like race in the history books, there's that one guy that can always kind of like sneak in there. And it's not too crazy if Kyle Busch is that guy. He's good here. We know he can win here. So
Yeah, but you could say that about Kyle Busch everywhere, though. You could pretty much say, because you look at the stats sheet and it's like Kyle Busch all over the place, and then you're like, man, what? I love Kyle Busch this week. Well, Yeah, but you
It's
did
like
last week.
when you go over to F1 and you're looking back and you're like, oh, Lewis Hamilton's really good here. You can say that just about everywhere.
It's so true.
Not always the case anymore.
I know. It stinks, but I don't know.
All right, well, we got plenty to get to with Alex, and everybody wants to ask a question. I get that, and we're going to get those in there as well. But before we get going, I want to tell you that you can download the SGPN app, all of our picks, all of our shows, everything you ever want in the SGPN right in one app. Find that wherever you get your favorite apps. Again, I don't have your devices. I don't know what you got. Go to the app store of whatever it is. Guarantee you SGPN is going to be sitting there waiting for you. And all of the shows that we've got going on in the network and all of our picks right there in one convenient place. All right, so CGO of Dirty Mo. Listen, we've had some fun over the course of the last couple of years getting to know that show and listening to all of the picks. And first and foremost, knowing that Dale Jr. is about as D-Gen as it gets. I think that's something that all of us enjoy, right? But what's it like betting with the GOAT?
It's fun. It's fun. We got it in the office. We have like a sports ticker now for has all the gambling lines. That's how invested he's gotten into gambling, at least like on football, because he can't gamble on NASCAR, obviously. But yeah, it's fun to talk NASCAR in more of a gambling sense with him and TJ Majors on the download this year too, because they had so much good insight that we've seen like with Steve Letarte, obviously on the show for the last couple of years, because like. They know like what it takes to like what tire is going to be good there, what tire it's comparable to at other tracks, and that's like inside baseball stuff that maybe just the degenerates like us that just look at the lines and know the sport could like not really know. I've never driven a race car, so it's really fun, and he's hilarious as hell. So I mean, he's gonna add that bluntness that's like he's not gonna win. And he's had a few of my bets I've thrown out there. He's like, I wouldn't touch that one. That's got no chance. So, yeah. And he's been on these top manufacturer parlays, and it's been fun to teach him a little bit about gambling 101 because
I love how excited he gets about it. Like last week where he hit one and he retweeted that at Dale Jr. Bets or whatever it is. Yeah. And he's like, oh, he hit one. Like, I just love to see the D-Gen in him coming out. And he's obviously not even betting it because he can't legally, right? But he's still excited that, like, you guys gave it out and people tailed and cashed it. And
oh, yeah.
It was great.
This week, we took that one win and we immediately went, our strategy was kind of just pick the favorites, don't go too off. It's still a good price when you parlay them together. This week, we just went with the bees. We just wanted the symmetry. We didn't really care. It. So, it's clearly gone to our heads again that we won one. But yeah.
I find myself listening some weeks and I'm like, I'll do the same thing in the car. I'll be like, oh, no, don't do that, Dale. Don't do that. Yeah. And then like this week I was like, yes, run with the triple Bs. We love Briscoe and Brad this week, and I think Byron's a solid pick too. So yeah, it was a full agreement with his parlay this week.
Yeah, good. Tail it. Let's get an army together. Let's ride. We're gonna win 2 in a row.
I'll tell you, I'm glad to hear sometimes that he can't bet NASCAR because then it makes me feel better about giving picks and not being able to bet him like I want to out here in California as well. So I'm like, see, if he can do it, I can do it. Never saying that I'm ever going to be DJ, but I mean, no, it's good to have something in common with the greatest driver of our era.
Yeah. Justin with a good question too. Well, we'll talk about Dale Jr., but Steve Letarte, and I completely agree with Justin here, is one of the brightest minds in NASCAR. I love listening to Dale Jr., but I don't know that there's anybody I love listening to more than Steve Letarte. He's just so knowledgeable about anything and everything. Also, a true degenerate, right? Yeah. Clearly, he gets very into everything as well. What's it like working with him?
Oh, he's amazing too. I mean, he's so smart, but his skill is he can dumb it down for you so easily.
Yes.
And he can really analyze the most technical and the most like beyond like in the inside of a car. He can knock it down to the easiest analogy ever that you'll understand. And it's a gift. And he's got the gift of gab, man. He can talk your ear off. I say he's got Vince Vaughn energy. Where, Vince Vaughn can just like rattle off in all of his movies. That's Steve. He can do that. He can talk forever. He can talk to himself forever. But you'll understand every word. You'll be hooked to every word. He's an amazing storyteller too. He's phenomenal. And I'm glad that he's on most of the races this year as the crew chief analyst because, man, he is just – it's nice to hear that voice and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a smart opinion. He's never going to lead you down a bad path. And it's really fun to work with him. Really, it's a lot of fun.
So you've been on with two of the brightest minds out there. I don't know what your skill level of NASCAR was before you started working with them, but now that you've been with those guys for a couple of years, I mean, what's that done to your understanding of the sport?
Man, so I mean, I've been a fan. I'm 30 years old. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old. So I've been around it. I've been around generations. But honestly, just being around them and listening to how the sport has changed technically, or just, you know, in all aspects from them, has really opened my eyes of like, wow, like it's made it a little bit, I want to say, easier and harder to gamble on it, just because I know too much now. You ever see it's like you kind of know too much that now you're like getting in your own head. But you know, it's fun to they're so smart and they're so obviously been around forever. But it is fun for me as the degenerate of the group to like shed that knowledge to them as well. Like, hey, you know, this is probably better in gambling sense. But yeah, I mean, two of the brightest minds and two of the most funniest guys you'll ever meet. So it's done a lot for me for sure. And I listen to every word they say because they're smart as hell. So.
Yeah, they are both great. That's awesome. How did you end up in the position you're at? Like, what was your journey to get to where you are the chief gambling officer at Dirty Mo Media?
Well, so I see one of the comments. I don't know how they found out I went to Springfield College, but yeah, it was
JDK,
smart
I'll
audience.
tell you, he's
Smart
our
audience.
research nerd. Like, he can find it. He knows everything about you, so be careful.
Yeah, oh my God. I mean, he's probably got my DMs out. But yeah, no, I mean, so I went to Springfield College. It's a very small school in Massachusetts, for those who don't know. It's actually where the Basketball Hall of Fame is. So John Cena went there too. Just that's the claim to fame. But no, I mean, I was always in NASCAR, like I said, but up north, you kind of get bullied for liking NASCAR. It's not super popular. But I joined a radio club. Like, they had like an on-campus radio station, and I just did a NASCAR show talking to myself, and I just loved it. And my dad always says I like sat up on my chair, and you could feel that I was up on the mic when I was talking NASCAR. So I just started to follow it, and I decided after college to move down to Charlotte and try to just put my foot in the door. Worked at NASCAR, like freelancing for about a year, and then Dirty Mo was hiring producers, and I was like, yeah, I'll throw my head out in the ring. And Mike Davis, our president, called me and offered me the job, and then I've been there for 5 years now, and it's kind of slowly just been on almost every show we got, producing or at some point. And they knew I was a degenerate when they started this gambling show. And Chopper, who was on it the first year, he wasn't coming back. He had a busy schedule with his day job, so they asked me to do it because I was already on the books, so I was the cheap option. And that's just kind of how it ended up me being on Dirty Mo Doe. But it's been a wild journey from that small 3,000 kid school in Massachusetts to, you know, now being at Dirty Mo Media and having people actually listen to what I say, which, I mean, it's a crazy thought.
That's like the old school NASCAR way. Like, just moved to Charlotte, started sweeping floors at a shop, and now here you are working with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Letarte.
You couldn't even dream it. Like, I tell people, I may have had the goal to like work in NASCAR, but I didn't really know what that meant, you know? Like, I thought just being in the building at NASCAR was cool, let alone working with Dale Jr., you know, like you said, Steve Letarte, even Mike Davis, who fans love. Like, it's crazy. What a wild ride. I couldn't dream of this. And now I'm here with you guys, so I would have never thought that.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because Lynn was like,
from top minds to this. How you like it? Here we are.
Two of the brightest minds to two minds that definitely are minds, whether you like it or not.
It might be one mind if we combine them. But
that's why I feel like when the camera cuts to me and Travis in the studio, I'm like, yeah, they go from Dale Jr. and TJ, all these wins, championships, to me and Travis. So.
I love that. Yeah, Justin, following up too. Do you get to work with Denny Hamlin at all? Obviously, he's in the building with Dirty Mo there. Are you working on that show some too?
So Travis Rockel, who produces that show, he does work the Masters a couple for that week. So when he goes there, I fill in and produce Denny's show. So I've had a small opportunity to work with Denny as well. And I mean, I hate to say everyone's great, but they are all great. I mean, you get to see these guys a little bit outside of that big spotlight and hang out with them for a couple hours during the show, and they're all great guys. So yeah, I mean, that's to be controversial to hear that Denny's a great guy, I think, for people, but he really is. He's funny, down to earth, and
what is this, BBC? Denny's great.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Freddie right now. But
that's funny. No, that's what I've come to find. I've obviously not working on that big of a level of NASCAR guys, but like, you get to know some of these, you know, even local racers and stuff, and you grow up and you're just like, oh my goodness, like they're such a, but you get to kind of know them behind the scenes, and they're just people too, right? And a lot of them are just good people and wonderful people. So it's good to hear about those guys.
100%. And you kind of take them out of like that racing element for a little bit, and it's just like we're talking college football, we're talking Masters, like we're just guys talking ball at that point. So it's really fun.
Yeah, that's one thing you tend to forget, especially in this arena, talking with professional athletes and everything. You know, they have to be a certain way to the public because that's their persona. But you take them away from that, and, you know, honestly, they just want to be people like us and just not have that limelight all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's fun to see them outside of that because you do realize they're just normal people, you know. So, yeah, it's really cool. I'm blessed. Trust me. I don't know. People ask for advice, and I'm like, honestly, just do what you're doing because I don't even know how I got here. So it's funny.
That's awesome. That's great story. Just again, yeah, like the old school, you know, just show up and here you are today. It's great.
Yeah,
I used to tell my students when I taught, like, there's no one magic formula in media. I mean, the best way to do it is just to work hard and let your work speak for itself. Be in the door, be early, you know, be the guy that says yeah or a gal that says yes to the things, and you know, companies will start noticing you and you'll move up the ladder, but you can't do it if you just don't go and start, you know?
I love that. Yeah. And honestly, like, be yourself it's so cliche, but it's so true. I mean, I see it all the time I'm a big Barstool sports fan. So like all their content, the weirdos that they have in there, but they're all themselves. And that's what's made them stars. And, you know, people will see through if you're fake. So be yourself is so important in this industry too. Cause you never know what's going to hit and connect with people. So,
and you never know, who's watching, right? That's what we never know who's watching. We said that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary, but yes. Yeah, very true.
All right.
That's funny.
More with Tampa Tims on the other side of this, but first I got to tell you about MyBookie.ag. We are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and so much more. Plus, of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. There's easy deposit and lightning fast payout using cryptocurrency. Aussie Rules Football, the women starting their ladder right now, and you can get the Gold Coast Suns taking on the Giants. Let's go with Hawthorn Hawks and Melbourne Demons. Hawthorn is 22.5-point favorites over Melbourne. Let's go ahead and take that because the Hawthorn, when AFL lines get to be this crazy, usually the favorite team covers. So minus 125 for the Hawthorn Hawks to beat the Melbourne Demons over there in the Aussie Rules Football Women Ladder. Head over to mybookie.ag. You can use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. It is now time to tell you about Rhythm's Power Trends. They are now called Smart Signals. Rhythm continues to crush it with Smart Signals, especially the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Smart Signals are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. There's no touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. MLB Smart Signals, they're crushing it. Mike Trout and Giancarlo Stanton are a combined 14-0 on Smart Signals, recommending their unders. WA Smart Signals, how about 97 and 65 in July with a 15.64% ROI? So good, Scott and Adam literally got booted off of one of their bookie accounts for winning too much. Be like them. Get kicked off of your bookie account. Start a new one, and then win some more and get kicked off of that one. Download the Rhythm app, check out Smart Signals, and start betting smarter. You know we are going to be. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, back with more. All right, so listen, we covered your rise to fame, and we covered all of that great stuff. But let's talk a little bit about just being a pure-on degenerate here at Richmond. We already had our Cup and Truck episode this week, and we covered our favorite bets and stuff. But as you're breaking down this particular race, and as you were doing all of your research, Alex, what were the things you were paying attention to? And really, I guess on top of that, what's your approach to betting on a race-by-race basis?
Yeah, that That was my question. What's your process? I mean, I know you get access to all the wonderful predictors and stuff, which is nice.
Yeah. I like to bust Russell about how wrong he is some of the times, but my approach is I don't really like to get too far ahead of myself, so I have my, whatever nerd Excel sheets that I use myself. But I keep it really simple. I really just focus on, my stat this year has been driver rating, which I'll grab from like Racing Reference or whatever, but and kind of go off that. I do it track by track and track type. This is where the benefits of having like TJ on the segment with us every week is like he's really good at telling you what tracks are comparable. Same with the professor too. Like one I didn't think this week for Richmond was Iowa is very similar in that track type to Richmond, and there'll be a very similar setups they'll take to the track. So this week I'll probably compare who was good at Iowa versus past Richmond experience. But I don't really focus on anything before the next gen era. That's kind of my thinking. I keep it short. And I just kind of try to just organize everyone by average finish and average running position and all the fun, easy stats and kind of see what I can go off of. And then honestly, I just watch practice and see who's fast, who's got the good times, and then kind of go off that. And with the way this car races, and we're all frustrated as fans, the track position game is just so key. But I think it makes it a little easier as gamblers because I kind of steered away from like the crazy long shots like a Zane Smith top 10 most weeks because honestly, it just doesn't have the track position to get up there. Unless they do some crazy strategy you can't foresee, it's kind of pointless. But I'm always looking for those one or two, though, that kind of sneak through the books a little bit. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we love our long shots, but I will say like we've kind of gone away from that early in the week too a little bit just because it has like the run of tracks we've been on lately has seemed very chalky. You kind of mentioned earlier, like we really feel like we know how this race is going to go. And that's what we talked about earlier this week on the show is it feels pretty straightforward what we're going to get this week. And we've kind of had a couple of those tracks lately. Daytona will throw a nice wrench into that next week.
Yeah.
But I think that does make it harder because I think we are going to see more of a chalky race again this week too.
Yeah, for sure. But I think like your philosophy from like my philosophy last year, I feel like the books have gotten a little smarter with NASCAR lines, and you can't really get that Alex Bowman plus 4,000 anymore. That can sneak in at a good track of his. They kind of have it pretty down pat. So I've had to change my philosophy where I don't really necessarily mind betting a plus 400 favorite if I really like the guy. Like this week with Denny, he's really good at Richmond. He's top of every stat you want to look at. Because honestly, if you I compare it to football. If you get a plus 400 underdog that's like heavily favored, basically, like I would take that all day. It's just I know in NASCAR it sucks to bet that. I mean, I bet SVG like minus 120 last week.
Oh, we did too.
Yep,
it was too easy. It was.
I kind of had to change my thinking of like, you know what, a plus 400 winner, doesn't matter what it is not bad. I gotta stop. It's not the plus 1,000 that I want, but
yeah, and I think that's where like this week we kind of did that as well. Rod gave out Denny officially, but I like that play as well. But you look at like Kyle Larson, he's 9-1, and you're like, oh, it's Kyle Larson. But then you're like, yeah, you haven't really seen anything. I know Dale keeps trying to argue for him on the show. He's like, oh, this is going to be the week. He said that a couple times. It's like, yeah, but when's it actually going to be the week, right? But how much does like current form play into? It's like Larson, a great example. He's been okay lately. Like he's had some, we say, oh, it's been rough for him, but he's got some second, fourth place finish. But he's not been the Kyle Larson we're used to. How much does current form, play into your handicapping?
A lot, actually. Like I think, track history can only go a certain way, right? If the car is not fast this year, like Tyler Reddick, for example, for some reason it just hasn't clicked this year for them. And I can give you some reasons.
Keep talking.
I can give you some reasons, maybe why, but I mean nothing on track. But no, I kind of stay away from him because he's going to be good at a ton of these places, but he hasn't this year. And I'm afraid to pull that trigger. And honestly, the lines have not really adjusted with how he's struggled this year, so it's not worth it. But current form is big with me too. And even like Chase Elliott had his first finish outside the top 20. I'm interested to see how he bounces back from that because he's so consistent. Does that start a slump? So it's little things like Kyle Larson also is weird because he goes through these slumps and then he'll win 3 in a row. Like that's just kind of how he is. It's really he wins. He's really first or last. Like it's really how he races.
Checkers or wreckers. Yep.
Exactly. So I think current form with some guys definitely. Like some guys need a couple good runs, then they'll go win. Like William Byron, I think needs to build up momentum and then he can win. We saw it at Iowa. And now he's taking off, but. There are some guys that could just pop up and out of nowhere and win. So take it driver by driver, I would say. But yeah, current form's big.
I am glad to hear though about the adjustment because I've said it several times over on this show, especially maybe even this year more than anything. It's like I know that this business almost forces you to try to go with the hot take, right? With the sexy pick, with the one that's going to get you the clicks. But that's not. I mean, as much as we're here for that. That's not why we're really here. Like, we're here to try to help you win money, not to sit there week after week and watch your bankroll go to hell because you're chasing after these things that are sexy and click-worthy,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I last year I had a commenter every week. He would be like, oh, you bet you like the favorite, shocker. Where's the long shots? And I was like, at that point, I think 7 of the first 8 that you take out, like Atlanta, I think when Suarez won, were like the favorites or the top 2 guys. Like, and guess what? They pay out. So, I listen, you can't – every week there'll be one guy I think the books maybe are undervaluing, but sometimes they got it. You have to go with it. I can't make up the lines. Trust me, I wish I could.
Don't we all? I've joked at Cody several times over. I was like, you know what? I'm about to be a handicapper just because, that's just the way this world is going to be.
Yeah, we joke around. The professor gives the predictor to the Vegas books, and that's how they said it. Because every week his top 10 is exactly what the books are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got to have an inside job there, but no. But that's how good they are. They must have hired some people. They must have lost some money last year.
Well, it's just like you bet a quarterback to throw for 265.5 yards, and he throws for 265, and you're like, God, like how do they know? Like there's within a half yard. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really that's insane.
Yeah.
Corey's got a great question here. It says, how much money do you put down on an SVG win at a road course? How much is not enough and how much is too much? This goes into the unit thing, Alex. We stay away from units, but
yeah, how many you don't have to give us a number, but
honestly, like I would say the worst part of my gambling thing is I just kind of stick with my unit and I don't really go too up or down from it. There's like a couple I'll go like 3/4 of a unit or something like that. But with SVG, I actually did like 3 units on that.
Oh,
and I was like,
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, I'm so confident in this. I've got to take advantage of this. But yeah, and I was texting all my buddies. I was like, that don't even watch NASCAR. I'm like, listen, if you want to make a quick, $50, $100 this weekend, guys, just put this down because this is gonna win.
Just trust me, bro.
Yeah, just trust me. And then he didn't even watch it. And he's like, damn, that was easy. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what do you got this week? I'm like, not the same thing.
No, I don't have another play like that.
That's it. We're done. Yeah.
that was it. That was a one and done. I bought you some beers. This is good to go. So next week you just sit back and enjoy the race.
Exactly.
I'll call you again when we get to the Roval.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just glad it didn't turn out like the Xfinity race. I was just glad that he didn't end up in the wall in turn 7. So.
Listen, I called that, you know me, I thump my chest all the time. Yeah, I called that Xfinity race. I said
Rod did have the Zillich one. I was on the SVG, so unfortunately I tried there, but made my money back on Sunday, so it ended up working out. But,
what was it, like plus 125? It wasn't like it was a barn burner, but hell, at least it cashed.
But like Alex said, if it cashes, it cashes, and that's the line you got to walk, right? Sometimes they're the favorites for a reason.
Yep. If he's got a plus next to his name, don't even hesitate.
Amen.
I think that's something we've I think that's something we've really adjusted on this season. Like it used to be we were more, I don't know if afraid to give out the favorite, but it's like you want to spice it up. You don't want to give out some of this, but sometimes it's like you do need to bet the favorite. And then we always like to give the insurance plays too, right? Like grab a Kyle Busch at 30-1 because maybe you do get a surprise winner, but you get the surprise winners less often. And it is the favorites that cash more. You just got to find the right ones to get on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's how you look smart in the NASCAR betting space. That's how you make yourself look like a sharp. Also, speaking of sharp, the experts suck. Love this guy. We love this brand. We love this whole thing over there. Not to fanboy, but the 3 of you are inspiration to keep grinding. Love what you do. So, yeah, I mean, and then they got their certain brand where they go against us, which is exactly why we love them so much because they fade us each and every week.
Oh, I love that.
It is. Well, they fade the experts.
Yeah, that's their brand, right? That's what they do. So, and they do that more in the NFL than anything. But they've taken to it this year, where we'll give out a guy against the head-to-head, and then they'll come and be like, all right, we're betting on this guy. So sometimes it works out pretty well for them.
Yeah, that's fun. That's all fun.
It is.
Exactly.
All right, let's continue on down this road. But I do need to step away for just a quick second and tell you about our friends over at Circa, because it is time for the world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, to host the biggest pro football contests. They got the Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo. Over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Honestly, can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st through August 23rd for an amazing weekend, including live shows and, best of all, open bars. That's like a big horn for me. Just come for the open bar. You get to meet Sean and Ryan, sure, but just stay for the free drinks. Plus, get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. Contests are open to everybody. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. So go to footballcontest.com. Use promo code SGP to get $50 off of your proxy fees. You've heard us several times over talk about Underdog. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. They're giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire. There's no arguments about trades. Best Ball is literally the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog's also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Told you earlier, High Limits Racing happening tonight. Corey Day, his projection is at 6.5. Grab that better than. The next best thing to slice bread and Kyle Larson is Corey Day, so get that better than 6.5 over there on High Limits Racing on Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer too. Customers, you play $5 and you get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up right now with our promo code RACESGPN. Don't wait. All right. Well, like we said, your approach is to always bet the favorites, never bet the long shots, and you're going to win every single time. That's good. Let me write that down. Alex says never bet long shots. But let's turn our attention to this particular race. And I know, like I said, Cody and I did our picks on Tuesday, but we're curious to know what side of the world you're on as far as who to look for in this race and what your favorite bets are.
Yeah, I'll go right for the easy one. My favorite bet is just bet Joe Gibbs Racing to win. I think it's plus 110 is the best price I've seen on the books that I have, at least. I just think it's either Hamlin, Bell, and Briscoe would be a long shot guy too. But I think they're all running pretty well now. I mean, Denny's another one of those guys. He just runs well at the tracks he's good at now. I mean, he doesn't really care about road courses. He don't care about momentum. He's going to come to Richmond with the feeling, and I think that's you can't go wrong with those. I do really like, if you want to get a little fancy, the Briscoe. I think he's plus 1,400. They're gonna break through, and any track that 19 team's good at, they're gonna be good at now for the rest of the year. Briscoe's finally got it, and he's so dangerous, man. But he's tough because all of his past stats you gotta throw out the window because it means nothing. It's just bet what the 19 car did. But yeah, I would say those guys. I don't really trust the Hendrick trio like Chase, Kyle, or Byron at this. Like this. I mean, if you're going to go with one of them, Byron, I think he's plus 1,100. That's pretty good price for Byron, but he doesn't really have like the numbers here. So I mean, he won Iowa. I said compare it to Iowa, so maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth here, but I would stay with the Joe Gibbs trio of those guys.
I love that play. I wrote that up in my article over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com as one of my best bets this week too, because I think you don't have to pick, right? Bell and Hamlin are basically co-favorites, depending what book you're looking at. You don't have to pick between them, but you also get Briscoe, who's maybe even been one of the better cars lately, and he's been fast. And like you said, he's been so good everywhere Truex was good. This is another place where JGR just as in general has been good, but Briscoe's been good as well. You also get the coverage on Ty Gibbs. I like to bring it up just in case he wins, Rod. I know Rod's not a fan.
That's a look at the guy who's been burned by Ty Gibbs in the past.
Look, my first experience with Ty Gibbs was I bet on him in his first career start in Xfinity at the Daytona Road Course, wherever it was, and he was a super long shot. I just threw a couple bucks on him, and he cashed, and I've been a fan ever since. But, yeah, it's covered in there too. But obviously you get the big three, and I like betting Briscoe outright. Like you said, I think, 14 or 16 to 1 he was earlier this week. That we gave out on the show here, but man, they've been clicking, and I agree with your not trusting Hendrick too, because it's been a little rough for them lately. I did give out the Byron outright. I think he's at that price worth it because of the winning Iowa and this being a similar track, but I'm all in on Gibbs this week as well.
Yeah. The Toyota in general is good here, but the way that, the Legacy's not going to win, let's be honest.
Right.
2311, I love Bubba, but I don't think this is a good track for him either. It's Joe Gibbs or nothing for me.
Yeah. I think Bubba, you gave out Rod the top 10 on Bubba, and I think that he can run top 10. I mean, maybe they just throw some crazy shit out there and do crazy strategy, because why not at this point, right? They can. But, yeah, and I'm not scared of Reddick at all, like you said. I mean, man, he made us so much money last year, but it's been rough for Reddick this year.
Yeah.
Are you ready to overreact, though? Because I'm looking at the practice reports right now as practice was going on. We got Kyle Busch at the top of the leaderboard. John Hunter Nemechek, second place on that chart. Denny Hamlin in third. Noah Gragson in fourth. Corey Heim in fifth. Does that do
interesting group?
Does it make you want to run to the counter now and put any wild bets down after seeing the top 4 or 5 in practice? Corey Heim in fifth in that Toyota machine.
Yeah, honestly, Corey Heim's interesting because I think he's super talented. I think he could run top 10. It's really just like how comfortable he looks. So I might overreact and bet him top 10, honestly, because if he's fifth in practice, it means he feels pretty good. But I don't know. I mean, I hate when that practice sheet looks like that, to be honest, because
it's like, oh, damn, what do I do now?
Yeah, it tells me nothing. Because like Justin Haley will win practice, and then he'll qualify 25th, and you won't see him for the whole day. So I'm like, what do I do with that? What do I do?
Well, qualifying's coming up soon, and he's the first guy out there. So maybe we'll see what kind of speed he lays down in qualifying and run to the counter for a Corey Heim bet.
Yeah, we'll see. Honestly, with the way this always goes, 32nd. That's where he's qualifying. So,
do you bet on the lower series at all? The Trucks or Xfinity much?
I don't, not a lot, honestly, just because maybe I'm not really home to do it. I do have a friend. I would call him the Truck Whisperer because he'll just put a bunch of matchups and a parlay. It always hits, or it's always one off. But honestly, like this year, I probably should because Corey Heim's is like an auto bet every week. It seems like, but honestly, I do just like to watch those because they're kind of a wreck fest at times, and
that can be crazy for your betting card. Trust me.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and honestly, I was like, I used to try it. I leave it up to like the people that have the patience and the balls, for lack of a better word, to do it, because that is a heart attack every time. I couldn't do it. I'll just
we like the sweat over here. It's you start getting into those overtimes, and you're really starting to sweat those tickets for sure. But
but there is some value in the Xfinity series.
Man, we had a run last year in Xfinity. Like it's been much tougher this year. It's not been as good for us. But Xfinity and Trucks last year, I mean, and the books just kept making a mistake. Last year they would give us, there was a number band you could bet 11 to 19 to win, and you would get Heim and Eckes, and they won like almost every single. And it was like a bettable number every week, and it was just like, okay, here's your reminder. Make sure you go bet this and we're not getting, and we don't have Eckes anymore this year anyways, but now anything with the 11 in it is way outpriced. But it was just like they hadn't caught up all last year. It was just like, okay, betting this again. Like, and it just kept cashing and kept cashing. It was really beautiful.
That's awesome. I love when you can catch that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
and I do think that's where maybe, go ahead, Rod.
Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead, Cody. Believe me, we all know.
Everybody knows I like to talk over you. It's fine. But no, I do think you can kind of get an advantage there where they are slower to react, because you think NASCAR, gets less of a handle. Well, the Xfinity and Truck Series get even less of a handle. So I think they're, slower to react to things in those markets as well.
Yeah, for sure. I maybe I should get on it for the playoffs since there's no Cup guys double dipping down there. So maybe.
True.
Yeah. Although we've seen that it's not always a slam dunk that these Cup guys come down and actually do or take anything away from the
Truck
guys.
Isn't 2010s with Kyle Busch coming down anymore where he just wins every time. It's these fields are pretty competitive these days.
Yeah. Fade the 17 car too, when the Hendrick guys run that thing. They can't seem to win in that car at all.
Yeah, it's been tough for them. Well, Corey Day's been coming down and doing things, and then Byron jumps in every once in a while. But so I wanted to get your opinion though, because we talked about, you were talking about the kind of out there markets that are out there. What do you feel about the specials? Like I tend to like the number bands. I like the car number winning bets, and then this time I actually gave out an average speed of the race bet as well. Yeah, it's but I mean that's what I'm saying. Like if they're going to offer them, it's fun to cover them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I know like Caesars used to do like driver finishing position. I haven't seen it in a while. So
that was a great one. I love that song.
I loved him.
I think we killed him on it, and we got rid of it.
It made it easy because like if you found a guy that was like 12th or 13th, you could just bet like at some point you could bet them, over on the top 10, and you just kind of worry about 3 positions. I used to love that and just guarantee a profit. But I like the drivers on the lead lap. That's like been my favorite. Don't bet it every week because I think they've got the number pretty good. But that and like the drivers that like out by like a certain lap at some of these tracks they offer too. Like nobody's getting out of these races now, so it's a cash cow if you can hit it, unless it's Daytona or Atlanta or something like that. But yeah, I haven't really bet a lot of those specials in a while, just because like when I've looked at it, it's just been like overtime, and that doesn't really get me going. But hearing an average lap speed is good science. I appreciate that.
Rod's whole thing is he's got his own website, So You Like Sports, and he does like articles on. He was the other day we logged in to do the show, and we're like talking beforehand like we were before he got on, and he's like, I'm so pissed about this handball bet. I'm just like, that is like peak Rod. I love it. So he loves deep diving into the like stuff that's all over the place. He's giving out like Counter-Strike bets and all sorts of crazy stuff. So that's like right down his wheelhouse to dig into the average speed of the race. And that's why I love it.
I'm the guy that when you see a nice little paved path that's out there and everybody's walking on it, and then all of a sudden there's this like thorny, like whatever that looks like you're probably going to die as you walk through. I'm just gonna be like, well, everybody's over there. I'm gonna go see what's over there. That's just my fun. But all right, no, but tell me, do you think the average speed of the race is going to be over 96.5 or under 96.5?
Oh,
I'm quizzing you now, with no research, with nothing, just sheer. What do you think?
I think under. I mean, I don't know. I have absolutely no knowledge of this, but this is. I just want to say under. Like 94 came to my head, so I'm going to say under. I don't know. Maybe.
No, it's tough because you figure that with cautions and all that, it usually drags down the speed of the race. But we talked about it on the show. There's only been like 4 cautions, and obviously, 3 of those are stage breaks. So there's really only been 1 caution for cause over the last few years, and it's been over.
Yeah. Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Just a little bit on a couple of occasions, but yeah.
That's one of those, and that's where those prop bets get kind of fun too, because it's like, oh damn, I bet on Denny and he wrecked or blew a motor or something, and your bets are just cooked. Like this type of bet gets you to the end, right? If it's staying green, you're like, oh, don't throw a caution for that. Don't worry about the cardboard that's been on the track for 50 laps. Don't throw a caution now.
That's so true. I mean, you definitely need to like have something to keep you at the end. Yeah, for sure. Like last week, I had Briscoe top 5, and he was hunting Blaney down, and I was watching that kicker. Like he's getting him. He's going to get there, and I was so thrilled. But everything else was kind of like settled or not or done, and I was like, that kept me super interested the last like 5 laps. But
yeah, and that's why betting makes sports great in general, because you are watching the small details like that. Like a pass for 6th and 5th in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean a whole ton of a lot, right? But when you got money on it, that pass was beautiful because he cashed an extra bet for us, and it was great. That's the sweat we live for.
Yeah, I tell Steve all the time, if I've got like an Eric Jones versus John Hunter matchup, I'm like, they're going to be racing for 20 seconds, so I better see some coverage of that because I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I love that you have the in on that.
Please, yes. Listen, now that we can slide into your DMs
can we send you a list?
Listen. Tell Steve
to make sure we cover this.
I want to see Catherine Legg lap after lap after lap.
I think last year he did like give Eric Jones a shout out for like something random, and he said it was just for me because he knew I had something on. So I was like,
that's super cool. It's great to know people. That's
exactly.
That's awesome.
So I was like, I appreciate that.
That's good. I want to get to a quick question from the expert Suck real quick saying, wouldn't you say Bell is the better of the Gibbs Racing guys, or did you already say that and we missed it? He just wants to know if he should fade us is all.
I think Denny's the cream there. I like Bell. I told you guys, I think before the show, like I had Bell over 3.5 wins, and I'm sweating it now. So I'd like to see Bell be the guy, but I think I think Denny's the top guy.
Not Gibbs.
Yeah.
No, definitely not Gibbs. No. Unfortunately,
Gibbs
he has potential.
For now, Rod. For now, we'll get there eventually.
I got a little bit on Ty Gibbs here. So like every week, the crew chief is I think Tyler Allen's his name. That's what they listed, right? And then Gabe Hart's yelling at him on the radio. I'm like, can we just?
I love how the TV broadcast has just like shifted to calling Gabe Hart. Yeah. They're like Gabe Hart, the crew chief, and it's just like they don't even acknowledge the other guy anymore. Like he's really crew chief in the car until we get to the playoffs.
Yeah, like what do we hide? What's the big deal? Like obviously he sucked early in the year. We had to make a change. What is the big deal? Just say Chris Gabehart's the crew chief. And then that's why I just can never get behind Ty Gibbs. There's little stuff like that pisses me off. But
and the expert Suck was setting us up. That was the setup for us. So there you go. So we walked right into their trap.
I love it.
See, our listeners are so on top of it, man. They absolutely know exactly how to hit all of our buttons each and every week. It's fantastic. But all right, so listen, you've had the opportunity, like we said, to talk with some very, very influential folks in the sport. You've been around the sport. You get to see these things play out on a week-to-week basis. But you've got to have some great memories so far of your first couple of years with Dirty Mo Doe. You've seen a lot of faces roll through. What's one story that while you're sitting around having beers with your friends that you tell to everybody that impresses them?
Oh, man. There's so many. I think on the show, at least, like I made a very smart-ass comment about Austin Dillon one week, and I bet him top 10. He finished like 33rd, so I called him a bum. And I then came back to 1 week, and I forget the track, but I think the professor threw out an Austin Dillon top 10 as one of his favorite bets, and I said that bum isn't sniffing the top 10. I mean, if he finishes top 20, I'll buy a fire suit and I'll wear the whole thing on the show next week. So what do you know? He finished like 8th, so he like shocked the world. And believe it or not, very hard to find an Austin Dillon fire suit. Very, very hard. We almost went to RCR to go see if we can get one. It's not close at all. Welcome, North Carolina is way out there. So I ended up having a buddy who was a huge Austin Dillon fan, didn't want to tell me until then. And I to make the bet.
That's something you keep under wraps.
Yeah, exactly. He had like a crew shirt. He had a bucket hat. He had a ring. And I wore all of that on the show the following week. And my coworkers did like a whole video hype shoot with me in my Austin Dillon gear, and I had to wear it. So, and then I got to see Austin down in Daytona 500 Media Day, and you talked about how it's crazy to hear who actually hears the show. I don't know if he heard what I called him, but he's like, I've heard of you, and I'm like, I put my foot right in my mouth. I'm like, this is crazy, but yeah, I do. For the record, I'm a Ty Dillon guy first. I think that's my hierarchy. It might not be Pop's hierarchy, but it's Ty then Austin for me. So.
Yeah, I think Pop's hierarchy is pretty obvious, but
I think Austin Hill's up there higher than Ty. I'm sorry, I love you. I think Austin Hill is number 2.
You might not be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it is funny because that's how we feel about the Gray brothers too, right? We always Taylor's the one that gets all the headlines, and I'm the oldest of my siblings, and I'm like, Tanner's the guy that I'm gonna back here because oldest sticks with oldest.
Yeah, exactly. Tanner paved the way for Taylor.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no Taylor without the Tanner.
Exactly. Yeah, speaking of the Dirty Mo Doe, I know you've got the segment inside of the big show now, but is there ever a return of the show with Letarte again on its own, or what do you see for the future of that?
Everything's up in the air. Yeah, we've always said like it could come back any week, come back any moment. I'm sure you
so
guys.
it'll be back next week then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Breaking news.
I think if we put that on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
But no, it's when we moved it to the segment on the download, it was really because Dale wanted to be a part of it, and Steve had an increased schedule. He was doing stuff for NASCAR too. So it just, and my day job as a producer. So I mean, we added shows that I produced. So it just kind of took everyone's time, and we kind of just figured like we'd probably get the same audience if we just shorten it. But honestly, like everyone's in the company is a huge fan of the show. It's fun, it's light, it's loose. It's a good preview show because that we don't have necessarily in the repertoire. So it could always come back. If schedules align next year, it could be back. If not, it'll probably be very similar to what it is. But I've been bad. I've tried to be a little more active on Twitter using it, but I haven't. So I apologize to everyone out there. But honestly, like shows like yours and other shows out there like have grown because of it, and I like to see that. I like that. And then if they can use us as our absence from a full show as a stepping stone for their show, I think it's incredible. And when college football comes around too, obviously this time of year, everything just gets heightened up. So, I mean, we could have a college football show. This is just out of my head, so don't think this is getting announced. But
Let's go.
we can have that too. So there's so much room for it. It's only going to get bigger. So we'll see in the future. But no plans as of now.
I will say though that it is good for us though, not just that you're off the air. So thank you for being off the air. But no, the fact that
thanks for going away. It really helped us.
Yeah, I saw a spike in her. Now I was wondering what's going on. Oh, they're looking for new listeners. No, just the fact that you guys were there in the first place, and I'm gonna back Corey on this one, and not just because I like to fanboy as well, but God bless Dale Jr. and everything he's done for the sport. Can't wait for NASCAR 25 on consoles. But here's the thing, right? The fact that he legitimized this medium also to fans, because honestly, gambling, and we talked about it just before we got on with all the states trying to legalize and smear ads and all this stuff going on. It's a hot topic because either you're for it or you think that everybody is just a degenerate gambler that's going to gamble away the family nest egg and you're going to be homeless, right? So, but for Dale Jr. to come in and say, hey, look, this is cool. Like, you can do this and have fun, kind of made it to where guys like us and shows like us can sit around and say, yeah, that's it. We can have fun. You don't have to be this person that's going to go over every week and go, hey, give me the such and such on this third line. And, that's not how it has to be every week.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like with Dale coming on this and hosting the segment now and it being part of the Dale Jr. Download, it's like you said, it's helped the entire like gambling niche of this, because
so much
it has it's gone from this is kind of like taboo to talk about to, if you got 50 cents or $1, throw it on this is fun, and then get something like Cody said earlier, like you're a little bit more invested in the race, and that's what I do. I don't put a ton of my money on this. You should never, but it's just a fun way to watch sports, man. I'm watching preseason football like I never would do.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's
so much more invested in preseason.
Yeah, it's all fun and games, and I from last year to this year when we were having a full length show to now not, I've caught myself watching a lot of like other NASCAR gambling shows, and I've been like, I love it. I'm like, I think there's so much talent out there, and there's so many different ways to do it. Like we're live right now, like this, we never even thought of that. So I mean, it's just I love the creativity out there. So it's turned me into more of a fan in my free time now that I get to watch. So I love that.
Yeah, nobody's done more for the sport of NASCAR than Dale Jr. has, and him, giving his blessing. Hey, it's okay to be into gambling on racing. Like, I think it's helped a ton, and we've got a lot of listeners that started listening to Dirty Modo and then found us in addition to that, and so yeah, we definitely. I mean, we were very excited as a show that was already out when you guys came out. We're like, this is amazing that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is carving out a space for this, because it just helps spread the word and get people into it, and it's definitely helped us as well, I think. So we love it.
I love to hear that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hey, freeze this moment. Ty Dillon currently sits on top of the leaderboard in qualifying. He is see?
Call it.
You've spoken into existence now. You've spoken into existence.
There you go. He might get a new deal too. I saw on Twitter the other day.
I saw some DraftKings sponsorship for him. So
yeah,
props to that. It's always good to see the sportsbook invested in the sport. So yeah,
he's had a good year. I'm happy for Ty. That's good.
Yeah,
Beautiful stuff.
Been a great year. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and just to wrap up the whole thing, I find myself watching Call of Duty League and watching grown men and young kids play Call of Duty because I've given out bets on the outcome of their games. So, yeah, gambling takes you in some pretty weird spots if you let it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I had awesome. I had one more question for you too. I think you were pretty involved in that series Becoming Earnhardt.
Yeah.
What was that? So Dale, obviously, like, I think probably one of his biggest passions, it seems like to me anyway, is going back for NASCAR history and especially about his dad. What was that like digging through that, walking through that season as Dale's going through it and everything? I mean, it feels like the way he puts it out is like one of his biggest passion projects. What was that like?
Oh my God, yeah. So I had a big part. I put together the whole thing. So that was really like my day job for, man, we were working on that for like 9 months. It was a long thing, just researching, finding the best stories from 1980 and trying to highlight them as best we could. But he like has these scrapbooks that his aunt made, and just the detail of all these articles. And it's article after article after article from these local North Carolina papers. It was crazy. And then to hear Dale talk about it when you have a question, talk about Jake Elder leaving, and then you hear his real thoughts, because he might have been like 5 or something, like really young when that happened, but like he's researched and read about it, and he's become a historian and an expert on that. And it was, to pick his brain, all that was great. I know way too much about 1980 right now. That I never thought I'd know, but it was really cool. I think he said last week on the Elder Download, Rod Osterlund called him last week. And I thought we were trying to get Rod for the show. It didn't work out. We hunted him down. He's very not public anymore. But that was such a cool moment that show got Rod to be like, we put it in a good light. We weren't trying to do a hit piece or anything. And he got to talk to Dale, which is awesome. And I mean, they don't write articles like they used to. Let me just say that. I mean, these drivers were so blunt on interviews, in MRN calls. But shout out MRN, we could not have done that series without them. They provide all the radio calls, tremendous. Those drivers, man, they were just good old boys. They really were.
That was before the PR days.
Yeah, I mean, Cale Yarborough would get on there, and he just, he'd curse out Dale right in the middle of it. Daryl would say the same thing. It was as a fan of the sport, as a lifelong fan of the sport, I've never really gone back that far. I was a 90s kid, so I just grew up with the 90s. To go back to the early days where 4 cars were on the lead lap, and to actually dive deep into it, it makes you more of a fan, and it makes you really step back and be impressed. That was only 45 years ago. So it's how far we've come in 45 years of sport. We are still brand new in a scheme of sports. So, it may actually be a little bit easier on NASCAR, believe it or not, because, I feel like I've been very critical of the car and the racing. It's not like it used to be. But then to do that series and look at how they were in 1980, I'm like, honestly, I'd rather watch this than 4 cars. And only 2 can really win it. So
go back a little farther and you got Ned Jarrett winning by 14 laps over second place. And it's like,
yeah,
boy, maybe the racing isn't so bad today.
Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't have done it without that series, honestly. So I was happy to be a part of it and work on it. I was glad when it was over because it took a lot of time. But it was really nice to hear all the comments from fans and listens. And I took a lot of pride in making sure that was perfect, because that's what when you do a project about Dale Sr., you want it to be perfect, right? And Dale Jr. does not accept anything less than that. So I was proud to be honored to task with it, and I'm sure we made everybody proud with it, but I'm happy to see the comments.
It was an amazing series. So yeah, if you've not listened to it, go check it out. And it's same thing here, 90s kid. Like I grew up around NASCAR since I was born, but diving back into farther back and seeing what it was like and hearing some of those stories and the things they went through and all, it's really cool to get that that perspective. So
Yeah.
that was a great project.
Yeah, I'll thank you for that. I'll share one quick story about what I learned. It did not make the show. We had NASCAR Man do some research. I don't know if you guys follow NASCAR Man on Twitter, but he helped us out with some obscure stories. And we couldn't fit it into the story, but my favorite one is Neil Bonnet got struck by lightning at his house in 1980. So I was like,
oh my God,
that is crazy. And it just, it just didn't fit.
Right. Yeah.
But I was fascinated by that. I'm like, how?
That is crazy.
And then he raced like the next week, like it was fine. And then went to the doctor, and the quote in the article was, I went to the doctor, and I thought I had to get I probably was hurt or something. And the doctor goes, "You're alive. I mean, you're better alive with this thing. I mean, really nothing I could do. I mean, he had like a burn mark on his back, I think, but like, that was it." And he's like, "Yeah, go home. You're fine. Like, if you're not dead, you're good." And I'm like, that's wild, man. Wild.
Oh, that's great. We need a separate project of just other random things you learned about the 1980 season.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Then that's the stuff that got Dale all juiced. And I'm like, I don't know how to fit it, but I mean, I would love to.
Yeah, where do you put that in? Like, by the side note, Neil Bonnet got struck by lightning.
Yeah, Dygar was suing Darrell Waltrip, and then Neil Bonnet got struck by lightning.
No good place to fit it. Just put it in there wherever.
Yeah, just find a spot. Yeah. But that was my favorite story for the year.
Love it. All right. Well, we have taken up so much of your time, Alex. We know you're busy. You're producing every show that Dirty Mo has, and probably some that they don't know that they're going to have yet. But we definitely appreciate you taking a few minutes of your day to chop it up with us down here in the NASCAR gambling podcast space. I know everybody in the chat appreciates your time. And, I mean, listen, man, it's been a blast. You have an open door to come in whenever you'd like and to take over my seat or Cody's seat. I don't care, either one, and have some fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. I'd love to come back. I could talk with you guys all day long. Thanks to the chat too. I've loved that feature and all the questions. It was really good, and I can't believe some of you guys even know who I am. So this is so thank you guys for having me. Though this was so much fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
All right, let everybody know where they can find you if they don't know who you are and they're like, who is this guy? This third guy in the middle of them.
You can follow anywhere on social media. I'm at Tampa Tims. Listen to any Dirty Mo podcast. Door Bumper Clear, I produce. Bless Your Heart. That's a big one. It's a funny one.
Side note, that's a great show. I never thought I would be like into listening to just a guy and his wife chatting, but it's really great. I like that show a lot.
Yeah, Amy's funnier than Dale. I'll say.
Yes, she's great. She's so good.
Yeah. So follow me anywhere. And I don't know why I went to Tampa once, so I'm not from Tampa. Just gonna put that out there.
Where'd the name Tampa come from then?
I went to Tampa once. I had a good time, and I'll leave it at that. But I came back to the office and somebody just called me Tampa Tims, and I thought it was sick. And then I did the gambling show. I thought, I got to have a cool gambling name.
There you go.
So that's how
what happens in Tampa stays in Tampa.
Exactly.
I'm sure most of the people in Tampa will agree with you on that one as well.
Yeah,
all right.
100%.
All right, Cody, as we let everybody go and watch the rest of the qualifying efforts and, of course, the truck race tonight, let everybody know where they can find you out there in the real world.
Yeah, follow me over on the X at Husker_Z. You can find all my stuff there. There's plenty of it. And, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week for Daytona. Oh, I love betting on super speedways. It's so much fun.
Indeed. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in about everything I got going on with it. So make sure you check out In Between Media. Seth and Elliot hang with you yesterday talking Richmond. They've got some good bets going on. And then, of course, my DGen's only play of the day. It was high limits this week, today. So, nothing you haven't heard before. But the surfing one hit. Took a couple days, but that one was fun. And, just check it out there on the website as well, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Alex, stick around for a second afterwards. We're going to talk to you later. But the rest of you guys, enjoy your weekend. Good luck with your bets. Let's go racing and let it ride.